today I invite you in a little tour of my art studio. My art studio is pretty small. It's also a living space located here in Lyon, France. The thing is, I'm about to move in 3 months, so I will have a much bigger space. It's going to be easier to organize everything, but I wanted to have a memory video of this place. If you are familiar with my videos, with my blog, with my photos shared these past 10 years, you probably know a lot of it. This place have evolved a lot these past 10 years. I change everything about twice a year actually, depending on the things I'm working on. I had in the past some in-person workshops with groups of 4 or 5 persons here. So people came in my home here and we worked together. So I organized my desk, my tables in many different ways. I don't do them anymore, but it has happened also in this very tiny space. I also now create all my art here. I prepared some big exhibitions here where I had pieces around me everywhere. It was really challenging sometimes. I filmed all my workshops, online workshops here. I have my computer space with my 2 computers too. So wrap also my big parcels when I ship a big piece. I have to store all my cardboard and all that. And you see, nothing is spectacular, it's pretty simple. Probably you know quite a lot of it if you follow me for quite some time. If you are new, maybe it's going to help you. So here I have my 2 desks, my 2 tables, which are just very plain wood table. It's not really a real desk because I used to organize my tables in tons of different ways, and it's pretty nice to have that. So I used to have a big giant table. Sometimes I like to have 2 tables. We will see in the new place how I organize that. This one is really the one where I work the most because I have the light coming sideways and it's really nice. I used to have my tables on every direction, sometimes the light coming from here, which I don't like. There are things which are not really nice if you work on 3D, sculpting things. When you draw, it might be nice, but when you work on 3D, you will always have the light coming from behind the piece you are working on, and it's not really nice. I really prefer having it sideways. If I was only a drawer or a painter, perhaps I would do things differently. But I like to have it this way. This one is more to when I film a workshop, I have artificial light. I don't need my real natural light from the windows, so I can film here. I also wrap my parcels here. So here, above my sort of chest of drawers, I have a lot of papers. Some I have used in the past, I'm not using anymore. I use it for a decor or also to paint a piece of costumes for my characters. It's also some papers I'm going to use to wrap my pieces when I ship them. So I have a lot of papers. They are all craft paper I painted and they are all white. I like to have a lot of colors, so it's mainly, yes, things I used in the past and I still like to have in case I need them. And they are organized in these things which were made for to collect spoons and forks and all that. So it's a kitchen thing. You are supposed to have that in your kitchen, but I think it works really fine and well with the papers. In this piece of furniture, which is called in French semanier, because there are 7 drawers. It's probably a very similar word in English, but I'm too lazy to look what word it is. So it's, yes, it's a piece of furniture with drawers. I'm not going to open the first one because really it's the most messy one and it's all the junk. I don't know where to organize it. So it's all there and it's mainly candles, matches, things like that. So it's really messy, and my essential oils, all that. It's not really an artistic drawer, this one. In this one, I have all my mulberry paper. So it's mainly white mulberry, but I also have some other colors because sometimes when I go at the store, they don't have all the colors I want. I only really prefer white. This one is not a super quality, by the way. It's really bad quality. It's breaking, it's super thin. There are different sort of variations in the mulberry paper, and this one is not the good one. But for some reason, it's the one they have here in Lyon. I don't know why. And below, I have also some different sort of papers. I used to work with this in the past. These scores, musical scores, things like that. I really don't work with that anymore, but I still keep them because I don't know. And I also have sort of old fairy tale book I destroyed, things like that. But I really don't work, honestly, with them. Now I just keep them just in case. So in this one, there is nothing really crazy. It's just something to measure. Also some sort of pencil, pens, things like that. Nothing crazy, and some post-it. In this one, I have things for my shipping, my orders, all that. So I have different sort of cards to pack. It's really just things to pack the packages, and I also have some tape, so I have different, I printed, and also have some very simple ones to write a little something. A lot of envelopes because I like to ship throughout the years, at least once a year, some things to my clients, so I have this. In this one I have my notebooks. I showed them in the previous video. It's some notebooks I use to create lists, to organize my work, things like that. So I like to have them of every shape, size, and all that. I also have a sketch book which I didn't use yet. I like to have also a lot of them. I also like to have different sizes and shapes for my sketchbooks because it's, I don't know, I think it has an impact on the quality of your ideas. In this one, I have my cards. So it's presents and things I put in the different packages of the orders. I don't sell them for different reasons, but I will probably have things in the future. It's not something I can do for the moment, but I still have this project because I still have the project of books and all that. It's just not entirely something I can do right now, but at least it's things I give to my clients, customers. So. And in this one, I have some brushes I didn't use. I have some tissue, some glue, and my wood glue. So it's just things I didn't use yet. And I like to keep it here. So in these little drawer shelves, I keep a lot of little things. So I have my glitter. I only have 2 sorts because really I don't need really more. So I have a golden and a copper color glitter, and I use them all. It's pretty much all I have here. In this one I have all my nylon thread. I have different sorts. I have some thick ones and some small ones. In this one I keep my wires. So I have also different thickness. A very thick one to shape all my characters and all the things which need a bit of security to be very strong, and a thinner one which is nice for other little accessories, details, things like that. So I only have 2. I really manage very well with these 2. I don't really need more. In this one I have some hinges, different sort of hinges. So I use them of course for my houses, also for my carriages and my teapots, anything which needs a door. I also have things for my pencils. So that's the thing I have here. In this one I have some clothespin and things which will be helpful if I want to hold something really well when it's gluing. So I have a lot of it, a lot of them. And in this one I have all my tissues because I use it a lot. So I have quite a big collection here. And I also have some bags here which I can't open really well. And my brushes. So I have some big ones like that. I really use to paint my big craft paper you saw just behind it. I really use them all for that. And I also use them to create all sorts of patina and things. And here I have my thinner brushes. So I have a collection and I use them all the time, so they don't have a very long life with me. And my pencils, I only have very tender one, which are very nice when you draw, and I use them also for my flowers and to paint and all that. So I don't have any dry pencil. They are all very tender. I try to see they are 4B in Europe. I don't know exactly in the US. I think they say it would be number 0 in America, so something like that. So it's only very tender one, which I use all the time. So that's why they are very handy here. So here, this shelf was a doll shelves which belonged to my grandmother. So she had the clothes of her doll inside, and now it's just the perfect shelf for my painting. So I painted, it was in this color, and I like to have this painting like that because I'm not very kind with my painting and everything. So when I have this big bottle, usually they dry very quickly. I don't have the possibility to use them all anyway because they are going to be half dry, not totally, but this one I know they never dry. So I prefer having some small tubes like that, which are more convenient for me. And I have a lot of yellow actually. I have 2 other bottles of yellow which are hidden behind because yellow is really the color I use the most. I use it all the time for every color I make. I don't use any color you see here like that. I always mix them, and yellow is always mixed somewhere. So I have a lot of yellow, not only these 3 ones, but a lot of other big bottles behind. So here I have my pliers, my cutters, which are all very old, a lot of painting on them, my rule, yes, that's all the scissors, all these things I kept over here. I also have some tiny tools like that. This belongs to a dentist, and it's really nice when you want to sculpt and to create a lot of very precise tiny things, so I like to have that. And in this little box here I have all the papers I need to work for my, at the moment I'm working on small characters, so I don't want to have too much. I have a bit of thin cardboard, different sort of thick paper too, a lot of things I can recycle, so some old postcards I don't want to keep, all that, and a lot of craft paper. I have some plates which are going to be nice palettes, so I like to have several clean. And here I have my wood glue, my jars with some water. And in this jar I have all the pieces of mulberry I didn't use, some little pieces, so that are still useful to create little accessories or things like that, so I keep them all in this big jar. And now under my tables I store a lot of things. I have this big basket here, and inside I have some newspaper, some yellow pages because I like this paper too. I have different thin cardboard, some regular cardboard, some other thick paper, thin cardboard, and a lot of foam board I didn't use. So little pieces I didn't use I still keep for other projects, other pieces which are in progress. So I don't recycle too many things because I have a tendency to be completely overwhelmed by the quantity of paper and cardboard you can recycle, but I try to have a lot of them, and I will have a video soon about recycling, all the things you can recycle around you in your art, well, things I recycle in mine actually. So I'm going to share that with you very soon. So that's it, what I have under my desk. And on the other side I have a very big sketchbook and also some foam board. Here I'm under my other desk, and you can see there are some paintings here because this table, this piece of wood, I usually, when I'm really I've stained too much the one side, I put it upside down and I paint the other side. So all my pieces of wood which are my desk actually are all like that, with some lot of acrylic and stains on it. So here I have all my parcels. So I have some which are already prepared and some which are not prepared. I have quite a lot of them, and I have some others under it. So it's really where I try to store as many things as I can, you see. So there are about 10 over there, 10 over there, and here some which are already painted and prepared, ready to ship. And these are very thick ones. I only use very thick ones, so there are, it's a double, so I don't know how you say that in English, but it's double strong. It's not only one layer of little things, there are 2 layers. And I have many other very, very bigger ones in my cellar because I can't have them here, they're way too big. So here I only have my classic ones, the one I use for most of my characters. Here it's my craft paper, so mainly white. I have some brown ones which I only keep for my parcels themselves, but to wrap and to paint, and all the papers you have seen on my chest of drawers, it's this craft white paper, totally white, totally without any lines. And in this jar I have all my ribbons. I like to keep them in a jar like that because it's quite pretty to have them all, and you can see in a second what you need. So I use that to wrap my parcels and my package and my orders, so it's only for that. Here I have a little bear which has been offered by a really nice lady from the Netherlands who makes all sorts of beautiful bears. And she's called Caroline, and she makes beautiful, beautiful bears. So she has offered many of them to me. So I'm quite lucky. I have a lot of presents from friends online, from clients. They help me taking care of my decor. In this one I have a lot of old things, things I tried or started but never finished. Well, it's mainly things I've done for my workshop. And I have made this bear, I think probably 5-6 years ago. I had done a series of puppets for a project in Paris. It's the only one I have left, but I don't do puppets anymore. It was only a project I had done once because I don't really have fun trying to solve all the technical problems. So he's just there. It's a lady, and she's just there, sitting on my cage. And here I also have little things I have not finished from different projects. I can't remember really what I have here. I think I have some candies. A lot of things I had done for the Hansel and Gretel house. Yeah, things like that. And behind it is my beautiful book of Les Contes de Perrault, which is an old book. I adore this one. I'm not going to focus too much on my books in this studio tour video because it would be a rabbit hole, so I'm not going to go there. But I love old books from 19th, 18th century. I try to collect them, fairy tale books. And this one I was very, very happy to find it because it's just a precious book. This has also been sent by the same person who sent me the crown, so I'm very lucky. I like them very much. I love nutcrackers. I will try to start a collection of nutcrackers because it's really, really nice and it's one of my favorite stories. So. And the puppets you see at the top of the red wall come from Germany. They come from Dresden and they were bought by my mother who lived there in the 70s. So I keep them because I like the heads, I like the texture of the heads, and they have a really nice vintage look, though they are made in fabric, they are not in paper. So that's it for this desk. You have seen all my wrapping tools, all this I use here. It could be really more efficient. The thing is, I'm going to leave this place soon, so I'm going to prepare a more efficient wrapping station in my new kingdom, because here I decided I don't want to improve this space anymore because there is really no use. I'm only there for 2 months now, and I still have another corner to show you, which is on the other side of the room. Here I have a boat, a lace boat I made for the lace exhibition. I had done this exhibition in 2011, I think, and it's a boat which was part of the exhibition, and it was hung in completely black rooms, so it creates a very funny effect, and it's really quite damaged, so I still keep it because I maybe will work on it again and will transform it. Well, my technique has changed a lot throughout the years, and I wouldn't do any of these things this way now. The chandelier is broken because he had traveled a lot, this boat. He has been in many places. Now he's there again. But yes, I keep it, but I will see what happens to him in the future. I don't have a lot of old pieces. I have him and 1 or 2 things in my cellar, but very few things. I have some books, sort of reference books, like animals books, some pirates books, because in this one, for example, there were a lot of flowers, animals, boats. So it's Treasure Island, but I still have it. I have tons of versions of Treasure Islands. I have some animals, some plants, some costume books, and some few artistic books, of course, and my illustration books. I have all my favorite Russian illustrators. I have some book by this French illustrator, which is, to my opinion, is the best French illustrator ever. He has done amazing books, and his name is Frédéric Clément. I will link below his page on Amazon so you can find his books and his website. And it's one of my favorite illustrator, really. He has done a lot of very experimental work. His work changes all the time, so you can't find really the same style on each book because they are all different. And I have some of his very first books from the 70s and some older ones, so it was really a big favorite artist of mine. I just adore his work. So you can check it, Frédéric Clément, and I will link below his name and his website if you want to check his books. If you think you need them in your illustration collection, if you don't have them already, We don't have a lot of things. I used to have a lot of my characters over there, but at the moment it's empty because I'm working on new ones. And I have my staircase from the Sleeping Beauty castle, and few things which I have never finished and I don't think I will finish. So I'm just there as experimental things. And here is the top of the bookshelves, and I have the characters, the things I used in my workshop. So I have a Princess Cat from the Princess Cat workshop, who is over there. She's upside down. So here I have some old notebooks. I don't keep anything, actually. I do. Everything is sold or it goes to the trash. And I have here some, I don't know exactly what it is, this one. Some old notebooks. So I had a project of a house. I think it's quite an old one, so this one. I don't remember which one it is. I was working on the Sleeping Beauty castle here, so this one was probably made in 2012 or 13. So yes, it was all the ideas I had for it. Yes, this one. Also have a lot of my things standing wherever they can, so I don't have the space to have everything really well organized. So I have this house which was started for the dollhouse workshop. It was just a little piece of the workshop because we were working on a much bigger castle, but I'm going to work on it very soon, and I'm going to start again it's just going to be the foundation for another house. So it's just standing there, and I hope it's not going to fall because I don't have a room for it for the moment. So it stays just above my computer desk. If you have ideas on how to store and to still have a very pretty corner in your home, in your workshop, I'm always interested to know that. So feel free to share your comments and questions and suggestions in the comments below. And if you want to dive a bit more in my paper techniques, if you want to make a carriage, a shoe house, some characters, some mushrooms, some strawberries, I don't know, whatever you want to do, you are always welcome in my online classes at learnthemagicofpaper.com. And you have all the choice you need. You will also have the support of other apprentice magicians who are also working on these things at the moment, so feel free to join us. I leave you here. I thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the next videos, and I see you very soon.